Welcome back to our adventure through Finwood. Last we left our Serena here in Sabrush. We still need to find Curtis Akari or the money that he stole for Marilyn Flores back in Harper. Now, let's see what adventure we're gonna get today. I just wanted to show you my new dice tower with the dice on top. And you can put them in here. The dice tower attached. And I just love it. So we're going to use this today. And what I did, I got these empty D12s and I painted the terrains on it, so instead of drawing cards we can roll the die to see what we can find. This one is the normal terrain, and if we are going to roll up a settlement, I have the settlement die with a hamlet, a town, a village or a city, and we have the frozen land, or we have, see, I just put it here, I don't know if we're going to use it. Plus I painted the story points on here, the ones we're rolling up. Now please don't laugh, because it's quite hard to draw with Posca pens on such a small canvas. I'm not the worst at drawing, but we'll see how this works for us. But that's all I wanted to show you. We are in Sabrush, and we have to take the ferry back to the mainland. That costs us 4 silver. Now, give me a second. Something else I got in the post yesterday was these Ultimate RPG World Building Deck cards. What you have here are some amazing looking cards where you can build up your world. Find rumors, history, people, ask some questions, and I think we're going to pull one at the end of the game to fill up Finwood with it. Okay, this morning we're starting 4 plus 3, so we start at 7. So it's 7 o'clock in the morning, and we're going to the ferry, pay 4 silver, which then brings us back to this hex over here. Let's see if we can grab a story point for the ferry ride. Let's see if my dice work. So this is a story, move away from a story thread. Now, looking at our threads, I don't have a lot. I have find Curtis Akari and strange noise can be heard from the town hall of Harper, which I think is the one we're going to lose. So let me kill that one. So we know that the ferry ride will take us, or has to go for 1 hour. It's now 8 o'clock. And we're going to walk through the forest to this frozen land hex over here, which will give us another story point. That is cocked. We find an item, but we do go into my favorite book. So this one is for the 100s, the 10s, and the 1s. We find item 977. Unlucky dice. A set of bone dice stained with age. These dice are incredibly unlucky. The user has a 90% chance of rolling the worst numbers possible. I don't think I have this set. Let me have a look. I do have those. They look the most like bones, but not aged bones. And they're quite good at rolling. Here it is. So we do have that. I will put that in our inventory. And I think I will keep only the D20 just for space reason. But I will put this in her inventory as a reminder. These I will put separate. Let's set a set of die. So let's also grab the D100s so we can maybe roll with them. But they're unlucky, so maybe not the best idea. Okay. So walking through the forest takes us 4 hours. And it's 12 o'clock or midday. What I forgot is to roll my fate die in the morning, which I'm going to do now. This is the fate chart from the adventure toolbox. And 15 is nothing happens. That was close. So let's head west into this frozen land text here. What do we want to do first? I want to try my terrain die. So we are taking our map that we got from our father. That's and say the word tool. So it show us all the hexes around our hex. So we are in here, and with the word tool we will know what's in here, here, and here. So we're here. Let's start with this hex here. And this is going to be farmland. I'm still tweaking on my rules. Now, I said I wanted to have more matching hexes next to each other, but now I have 3, 3, 3, which I don't really like. So instead, let's say first time it's a 50-50 chance, it's the same. Second time it will be a 75% chance. Let's see how this works. So if we roll under 50, this will be another farmland. It's 50. Okay, it's another farmland. 25 and lower should be the number. For this hex, if it's another farmland, a 0, 3. Interesting. Okay, that's all farmland. Great. Okay. I'm glad I took out all the colors. So, question. Where we want to go? I forgot to roll if this would have been a water or not. So, I think we head straight west. So we're here and we're going straight over into the farmland, but we're still in these frozen lands. Whoa, in these frozen lands. And let's grab a story point. This is NPC action. Okay, NPC action. Let's see if it's one of our 3 characters. It's character 12. So we get a new person. 1 and 3 is female, 2 and 4 is a male. We have a female coming across. And let's go to my favorite NPC interaction generator. And let's see our initial disposition. Roll a d20. 10. Needs help. They need help. Roll on the need table. which is a D10. A 9. In need of money, food, strong drink. I have an idea. So someone needs money, drink, or food. Let's say that we find someone that had an accident on the ice and fell onto the ice, and now they're just freezing cold. They're shivering. So we're going to help this person, right? I think my idea is to ask the oracle if there is some wood around or something flammable. We came from a forest, so I think it's a chance that there is wood around. Let's say likely. So 65 is the threshold. 19. There is wood around. So what we're going to do is grab the wood, and then I'm going to firebolt this wood stack. A flammable object hit by the spell starts burning if it isn't being worn or carried. So with our firebolt, in minutes, we have a lovely warm fire going. And the girl we saved is trying to warm up. Now, what we're going to do, we have this bottle of cocoa. What was, let me see, that was 528. So 1 cup of this hot cocoa warms the user right down to their bones, keeping them safely warm in extremely cold temperatures for 4 hours. So we are going to use one of our 5 uses, and for the next 4 hours the girl will be warm. We're going to talk to her and we find out her name. 14. Tammy Perez. So while we're heating her up by the fire, we start talking, and she tells us what she was about to do. Now we need a mission for her. Not really. The secret of the power. Let's see what that is all about. There is a power and it has a secret source. For instance, an evil wizard may derive his abilities from his ancient staff. How about, so the information is there is power and it has a secret source. I have an idea for that. So we're looking for a secret source of power on this field. Now, what if, hear me out. Let's see. If we're going through the map of Finwood, there's Rockshore up north, and Rockshore is surrounded by these frozen lands. What if she is from Rockshore, Tammy is from Rockshore, and she was sent from her town to see if the Rockshore got a hold of news that these frozen lands are spreading in Finwood. So they sent Tammy out to find out more. And she came all the way down to Harper. So we're going to tell her that on the right side of Harper are also frozen lands, but we don't know much more further east. And we don't know why those frozen lands are spreading down here. Question is now, I would like to ask the Oracle, before we go any further with the story with Tammy, I'm going to ask the Oracle if she's going to join us. So we would head west together and help each other out on our missions. Now, how certain are we that she would do it? What are the mythic stats? Likely, maybe. It's very likely for her to not go further east, but to stay with us, and so we can try and figure out together more about this. So 65 would be a yes. 78, no. She don't want to head home. She doesn't know enough about the frozen lands. And we say sorry to her because we have to move west and she has to move east. But we do now know that Rockshore has someone looking into those fields. So Rockshore has a noble family, King Wolfpelt and his son Prince Vesus, who got killed. The idea for this town, when the curse started. So as said, Rockshore has a noble family, King Wolfpelt and his son Prince Vesus. Now, the prince kidnapped the blacksmith's daughter, which Tammy knows about this. Everyone in town knows about this. So after the daughter got kidnapped, the next night the whole of Rockshore was surrounded by those frozen fields. They came out of nowhere. And they sent different people out into, let's say they sent 4 people out, right? One north, one south, one east, one west. And we found Tammy, who was sent east. So maybe this will come up more. Give me a second. I will do some bookkeeping for myself and write this down. So before they part their ways, is there anything that Serana can help Tammy with? Does she know anything about those frozen lands? I think we had a no before. We could look through the tarot card. I think it's very unlikely that we can help her. So very unlikely is a 25 or lower for a yes. 74. No, we can't help her. We don't know anything. The only thing I might say is we do figure out that the fire that was burning in front of us didn't even put a dent into the ice underneath. So even though the fire was burning, it was hot, nothing melted underneath. So it is not something you can get rid of with fire. I'm pretty sure we weren't the first to try this. Rockshore will definitely have to try this before, but firebolt is not the solution to the problem. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change, I think I can change this to Rockshore. So whenever we would roll character number 4, it has to be something connected with Rockshore. So maybe one of the other 3 that got sent out. And I'm going to put it as a plotline because I think Serana gets interested in this. I mean, Harper is quite close and they want to know why this ice is spreading to them anyway. So it hits close to home for her. I'm writing down frozen land and put Rockshore so we know where to find our notes for this. Okay. So the cocoa we gave her did work, and it will work for 4 hours. How long do we talk with her? 3. So it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and she has 1 hour left with keeping her warm. This story gets interesting. Before we decided to go through here into this farmland, which we're now approaching, and I would like to see what terrain we have around. Now we already have 3 farmlands connected, so let's start with this one. this is a plain field. I think, yes. So 50-50 that this one is a plain as well. 63. It's different. One, let's see. That is swamp. Now again, 50-50 chance that this one is swampland. 46, yes. So I feel like knowing this, she doesn't want to go through the swamp. I think we're heading more north to go around the swamp through this plain field. So we're heading north a bit. And I think it's time to grab a story point. This is NPC negative. So character number, shuffle, right. Number 4. Okay, it is Rookshore. So let's keep this as the story point before. So Tammy does not want to come with us. She will head east to Harper and beyond maybe, and we head west. I think it's the only thing I can come up with. So let's use that for the roll before instead of like the mythic. What do we had? Unlikely. And let's see another story point. NPC action. Okay. Where are we? In our field, in our farmland, we see someone, let's say a farmer. 18. New one. Okay. So let's say we come across a farmhouse in the middle of this farmland hex. And there's a farmer and his wife who are working on the fields. Let's go back to my disposition table, to the initial disposition. What is his initial disposition while we're crossing on their field, their home? 18. Amicable. This NPC will gladly answer the character's questions. Cool. So we're starting to talk and tell each other our names. Let's see. What do we get here? How about Reese and Ash Driver? What if they are quite old farmers? And it could be that Serana will ask them if they need help. I think an idea I have is, so how about Serana decides to ask them if she can help them farm the potatoes and bring them inside. As a thank you, they will let her stay for free, give her dinner, and she will sleep overnight, move on from the farm the next day. Bringing in the potatoes for 3 hours. It's 6 o'clock in the evening when they're eating and talking. So they start talking while eating, and let's see the campfire deck, what they're going to ask her. And after that, I will use the ultimate RPG world building deck to see what we get for our world. So your companion doesn't really work because we're traveling alone. Your past, what was the last thing you tried that you unexpectedly loved? Did that open you up to other experiences? I think it's her tarot deck. So is Reese? I think Reese could be interested in the tarot deck, but Ash, not really. Let's say 50-50 for Reese. 50. She's not quite sure about it. Ash 57. No, he's not in it. But Reese asked her to read the cards. Read the card for her. So let me grab my cards. And let's grab a card for Reese. So as mentioned before, I'm not good at tarot. I just have the card. But let's see, what do we get for Reese? So we have Mother of the Chalice. The normal way is the Mother of the Chalice is in no way inferior to the High Priestess with her natural physics abilities. She's a gentle, calm woman whose knowledge brings healing to her fellow human beings. She flourishes in the circle of her family, surrounded by art, music, or beauty of any kind. Like Real Swan, the Mother of the Chalice becomes aggressive and defensive as soon as she feels harassed. She usually sees herself as a victim when someone causes her grief, and it would be reversed. So, in fact, I would say that she is nice to us. She only knows working, right? Morning till evening, year in, year out. She never left the farm to go on holidays or go out. She just knows working. And this made her, I think, bitter. You know, like she has enough to do the work and she's tired. She just wants to retire, but they don't have enough money. But she does know how to handle problems, and they had a lot of them in their lives. If someone is watching that knows tarot, please let me know. I would love to learn more about it. What would you say for her as the reversed Mother of the Chalice? Okay, and the last card. I get a people card. Okay, I have my list of all the towns in Finland, and let's see what we get. A fool. They are foolish because they choose to. Are prejudiced, often draw the wrong conclusions, obsess over meaningless matters, ignore advice, and are impulsive, are not used to being challenged, trusts too easily. Okay, somewhere in one of the towns we have a fool. I have 17 towns at the moment, so let's roll a d20 and see what do we get. 11. 11 is Rockshore. Interesting. That is interesting. Okay, that's weird. I think Kingdom Builder, isn't there? I think I have that in here. Kingdom location? No. That's what I'm looking for. Noble houses. Our king in Rockshore. King Wolf Pelt. I want this fool to be the king. Okay, here's the story. Ready? The king, Wolf Pelt, has an advisor. Think Jafar in Aladdin. He has an advisor. We need something cryptic. Porter. Porter. I like Porter. The king has this advisor, and the king trusts him too easily. So Porter has a big secret. He has something to do with the frozen fields around Rockshore. We don't know what, but we now know that Porter is the problem. He has the king under his spell, maybe? If we're going full Aladdin, it's spell. Oh, maybe it was Porter's idea to send out those 4 people to find out more about the fields that he already knows everything about, right? So he's trying to get the throne, nothing more. And he has the king under his spell. Now, question, has he magical power? Is it just saying a spell, or is it a real spell he's under? Like charm person or something like that? 50-50? 27. Yes. Okay. Magic. So you can't just kill him and take the place. It did already. We're able to eliminate the prince. So if he's getting his cards right with the fields, the frozen fields, maybe he can try and get him off the throne. I think this is his big picture, Porter's big picture, right? And he knows that none of them, he doesn't know, but he's pretty sure that none of them will find anything out. That's a good card. You see, such a small card, and I know half of my story from Rockshire written. I just love it. So let me know in the comments, what do you think? If you have some names for those 3 other peoples that we can find, or tell me in the comments if you are interested to see this storyline take place, like the Rockshire story with the frozen fields. See if we can figure something out. Let me know if you would like to see that, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!